New details this morning about China's continued support of Russia. The Chinese Foreign Ministry released a statement saying China will increase its, quote, strategic coordination with Russia, regardless of international volatility. The Chinese Vice Foreign Minister gave that assurance to Russia's ambassador to China. Joining us now, retired Air Force Brigadier General Robert Spalding. He's a former China strategist at the Pentagon, now CEO of the tech security firm Semper. His new book, entitled War Without Rules, China's Playbook for Global Domination. Also with us, professor at Columbia University, economist Dr. Jeffrey Sachs. Great to have you back on the show with us this morning, both of you.
Yeah, so General, thanks so much for being with us. It seems that Xi just hasn't been able to get out of his way over the past year. You can look at the zero COVID strategy that's just wrecking his economy right now, the missteps in Hong Kong, embracing Vladimir Putin before he goes on a disastrous military campaign. Obviously, they want to be part of a system. They want to dominate a system that Putin wants to disrupt. Why do they continue to embrace him?
Well, I mean, one of the problems that you have to deal with, both with Putin and with Xi, is the fact that they are leaders of totalitarian regimes. So a lot of times they don't get, any feedback that's really positive. But of course, with Xi, there's something even more, I think, sinister behind it. And that is, he wanted to see how the West would react to Putin with his invasion of Ukraine, because he plans a similar invasion of Taiwan eventually. And so understanding the economic, the financial, and the political ramifications of that invasion actually helps him understand how he can deal with the West when he does something similar to Taiwan.
Well, General, let me ask you if you agree with Admiral Stavridis that the last 6 weeks certainly have had to raise questions in his head about, well, maybe Taiwan's not worth it. Russia was supposed to roll into Kyiv in 2 or 3 days, and it hasn't turned out that way. Do you think we're oversimplifying our read of Xi in thinking that he may be going through that and drawing those conclusions?
No, she's basically said that he is not going to leave Taiwan to the next generation. The Chinese don't get deterred by actions of the West. What they seek to understand and accomplish is how do they take advantage of the situation. And with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it's really about learning the lessons. And then they're going to turn around and they're going to use those lessons on things like the Belt and Road Initiative. They're going to strengthen energy cooperation with Russia. They're going to use their satellite states to really isolate and secure their economy from any, sanctions that may be coming from the West. So, no, I don't think it's going to deter Xi in any way. I think what it's going to do is allow him to take measures internally to China and in conjunction with other countries through the Belt and Road Initiative to ensure that, the West doesn't have the same levers that they had with regard to Putin.
Dr. Sachs, when you look at the economic side of this, of the decision by China to side with Russia, what is the calculation there of further isolating itself when it's saying we side with the country that invaded a sovereign nation, that is murdering civilians by the tens of thousands right now, and is looking to annex some of the territory from Ukraine? Does Xi care about the isolation that brings with it? What is his economic strategy here?
I think you have to count the votes, and it's a little bit different from what we think. There are 30 countries that have put on sanctions, but they represent just 15% of the world population. There were 94 countries that voted to suspend Russia from the Human Rights Council, but they account for only 24% of the world's population. Basically, we have the U.S. and Europe in a particular posture. It's not just China, it's almost all of the developing world is saying this isn't our battle. These sanctions are hurting us, they're hurting the world economy. So the idea, I just want to be clear, whatever right or wrong, the idea that these sanctions are going to do the job or that they will deter China, we just heard they will not. But it's not China being isolated. We're talking a lot to ourselves, actually. I've been traveling all over the world as usual, and the view is very, very different outside of the U.S. and Europe. This is just important for us to understand.
Yeah.